First responders realize at that moment that they never dealt with that trauma. They never dealt fully with that incident. They didn't grieve properly. They didn't process that out of their body, their emotional body. And they're still holding all of these different things after many, many years. C. Rodriguez, trauma Squatch, and here's what I know. I do not have all the answers. I have been brought to my knees enough times to know better. What I do know is this: survival mode creates chaos, and chaos convinces you that there is no way out except to keep pushing. The Iron and Ember Coaching Podcast exists to create disruption inside that chaos, not by tearing your life down, but by helping you reorient. I am not here to save you. I am here to stand as a lighthouse, illuminating the way for those who want safe harbor. This is optional. You either want a change in course or you do not. If you are ready to follow your North Star again, you are in the right place. Iron and Ember Coaching is educational and restorative guidance, not crisis response or therapy. If you are in immediate danger, please reach out to local emergency services or a crisis line. What do you do when you get free replays? I was on the way to a Thanksgiving dinner in Las Vegas on the east side of town, and as I'm on the freeway, very suddenly and unexpectedly, a memory comes dancing in my head at a very inconvenient time. I'm due to my dinner in about 15 minutes, and all of a sudden I remember a memory of a call where myself and Steve had to ram a vehicle that was going on the opposite side of the freeway. And I was a sergeant at the time, and I gave that command, and it was both exciting and scary as hell. And the reason it was so scary for me was because it was a Sunday evening, and both my parents and my son were on their way back from California, and that would be a route that they would be taking to arrive at home. I didn't share that with my officer at the time, but the person that was driving the vehicle was drunk, and we ended up having to smash into him several times, 3 separate times, in order to stop him. He was in an old Ford pickup truck. So I just took a deep breath in. I said, okay, I hear you. I'm not so sure why this is coming up. What are you trying to tell me? And that's when I realized it wasn't the incident itself, because no one got hurt seriously. None of us were hurt seriously. He didn't hit an innocent person. What haunted me was the fact that I couldn't share with anybody the fear that I had that my son or my mother, my parents, would be in a vehicle as innocent civilians coming down that same freeway, possibly getting struck by this person. So I keep driving. I'm breathing in, breathing out, trying to listen to some music. And I get off at an exit and I start going down the street, and another huge, vivid memory comes into play from years past, where Officer Millie Beidel was killed in a traffic accident, and his partner Dave was seriously injured with a traumatic brain injury, and they didn't know if he was going to make it, near an intersection that I was passing. And near that same area as well, quite a few years back, Officer Alan Beck and Igor Soldo were murdered having lunch at a restaurant. By this point, my chest is feeling tight, constricted. I feel like I want to turn around and go back home. I don't want to face this company, my son and his in-laws and all the family that's there. I don't want to have to mask up again to deal with a family gathering. And I pulled over, and I just let myself feel it. I let the tears come. I let the breathing get back to normal. I used the tools that I have learned somatically to calm my nervous system down. And once again, I asked myself, what are you trying to show me? And in just about every case, when these types of memories come flooding back, first responders realize at that moment that they never dealt with that trauma. They never dealt fully with that incident. They didn't grieve properly. They didn't process that out of their body, their emotional body. and they're still holding all of these different things after many, many years. There are 2 techniques that I did utilize in order to calm my system down and be able to enjoy a wonderful evening with my family. And the first one is 4-7-8 breathing. And what that entails is doing at least 5 reps when you're feeling yourself amped out or pressure on your chest or whatever symptoms that are coming to you when you're having these recall that come out of nowhere, seemingly. In my case, they were related to geography because I worked in that area for so long, Northeast and the downtown area, that those specific locations were where I worked. So geographically, I had not been in those areas in a very long time. That is why those came up for me at that specific time. And of course, it was inconvenient. However, I instituted, after I pulled over, just staring at something in my vehicle and breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and breathing out with the sound for 8. And it sounds really simple, and it really, really is. There's nothing complicated about it. You just have to focus on something, or if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes, breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and out for 8. And I would recommend that you do at least 5 reps and do more if needed as well. And you will feel yourself starting to calm down. The second thing that you can do is a technique called the tapping method. And the tapping method is tapping actually on different meridians on your face and on your body that can help calm the body down. So after I left dinner, I started, because I had to go right back through that area to come back west, to come home, I started feeling myself uncomfortable again. And even though the memories weren't as vivid, other things surrounding them started happening, or memories started happening to me. So I started tapping, and I just put on a very inspirational, beautiful song, and I listened to the words, and I was tapping, and it really helped me to calm down. I could focus what I was doing. These memories were not invasive any longer. And then the third technique that I also recommend, and the only reason I didn't do it because I had makeup on, I didn't want to wash my face at the residence because I would have had makeup and mascara everywhere, was when I got home, I washed my face with very cold water, and that also helps to calm your vagus nerve down. And I was able to sleep soundly without any issues that day. This is something that takes practice. You can't just imagine that you're going to get through this overnight, but these are some techniques that you can start to institute on a daily basis so that you put them into practice. And that way you can help yourself to feel more relaxed, to feel more focused instead of thinking about all of this memories that are coming towards you, because they're going to continue to come until you acknowledge them. Somewhere along the line, you decided that you were going to bury them or not deal with them. And in your unconscious mind, sometimes you believe, even though you don't understand it consciously, that you were made to abandon yourself when you needed somebody to talk to, or you needed to go to a therapist and process these things out, or you had to be professional on a scene and not show any kind of emotion. And then you went into the next call. So you were not ever able to process that out. And some people go for cocktails after work, and they go home and they go to sleep, and they wake up, and guess what? All of that unprocessed stuff is still there. So these are just some of the techniques I'm going to continue to share with you every week so that you can start working on some of these types of modalities to assist you in your daily life, so you do have a quality of life, because that is just so important, that you have a quality of life, that you're in the present moment when you're with somebody that you care about, or even when you're by yourself, that you don't have these invasive thoughts constantly coming in there. They're trying to give us a signal. They're trying to tell us something, that we have things that we have unfinished business with, and that's okay. And it's normal. I want you guys to understand it happens all the time. As I said earlier, whether you're active or you're retired, this is necessary work if you want to heal and you want to feel more at ease and have some peace instead of constantly ruminating in your mind about all of these different memories. Sometimes if you don't understand why it's happening, it can be very confusing, it can be very depressing, and it can be very alarming. So pay attention to some of those things. Take it a day at a time. I always say take an inch at a time by learning different things and modalities that you can do for yourself in order for you to live that wonderful life that you deserve and you've worked so hard for. The work symbolized in iron and ember is not easy. Iron is forged by fire, followed by the hammer, carbon release, and finally, the quenching. This work can be exhausting, but it is internal, and it is what allows you to stop burning energy just to stay upright. I am not here to pull you in. I am here to stand as a lighthouse, steady, visible, and grounded. So when you are ready to change course, you know where safe harbor is. The choice is yours. This is Iron and Ember. Beyond survival, period.